And now it's time for news from around the world. And meanwhile in Germany, you know how like here people have a problem with the idea of getting another booster, like 4 shots, that's a lot. Well, in Germany, there's a guy who would not have minded that at all. He blew way past the 4 mark. This is a 60-year-old man who got 90 COVID-19 shots. Now, why did he do this? It is not because he is a huge germaphobe. He did it so that he can then sell forged vaccination cards with real vaccine batch numbers to unvaccinated people. And I gotta say, while I hate most parts of this story, I do like the dedication to the craft. I feel like most of the people who sell these just forge them. He put his body, his very arm on the line, Dan. And that's more of a commitment than I think most of these con artists would do.
First of all, I thought you said germaphobe to try to make a fun pun on, Germany or whatever, but I know you're better than that. You're a little bit better than that. But yeah, 90 COVID shots. Clearly this guy's motive was to try to be the next Marvel supervillain.
Exactly. God only knows what's growing out of his arm. I'm gonna guess another arm. But anyway, scientists, I understand he's probably gonna go to jail or whatever, but like, could you keep tabs on him? Because if he ends up being fine, haven't we just dispensed with the fears about vaccination? I mean, that dude has got like a small village's vaccine flowing through his veins, and so far he's okay. Cue the breaking news of him keeling over, but so far he's okay. Anyway, he got it at these vaccination centers, and apparently he'd been doing it for months until criminal police caught him earlier this month. Who knows how many he would have gotten, could have gotten, if we hadn't interfered, Dan. It's almost a shame. And meanwhile, in Nigeria, much darker, more serious news. 168 people are still missing after last week gunmen attacked a train, killing 8 people in the process and taking dozens upon dozens hostage. Government believes that they were likely kidnapped. That seems like a rational theory. By the way, there's been a big surge in attacks by what are called bandits. Over 2,600 people killed, 1,000 students kidnapped just last year. And so 8 people were initially killed during this attack. This is back on March 28th. A gunman detonated a bomb on the tracks and then opened fire on the train. The NRC says of the remaining 176 passengers, 8 have been confirmed dead, leaving the whereabouts of 168 still unknown. And they said efforts were underway to rescue the missing passengers, although it has now been something like a week. And the attack was the latest deadly assault blamed on heavily armed criminal gangs known as bandits. So devastating news for so much, not only for the people to die initially and so many to be kidnapped, but for days and days to go by. I just think about like dozens and dozens of families terrified about what might end up happening to their loved ones.
Yeah, I'm glad we're covering this story because of course Ukraine's getting a lot of attention, but of course you can't apples to oranges compare the situation. But there are, of course, tragedies happening all over the world all the time. And the situation in Nigeria definitely needs more attention. And listen, I would love for Joe Biden to do more things domestically, but while we're handing out international cash, maybe let Nigeria get a couple bucks as well.
Exactly. Yeah, we can and should focus on as many of these stories, but it's very easy for these sorts of things to fall by the wayside when people are focused on one big, admittedly, conflict. But this is still devastating. Imagine if this happened in Ukraine, how much news coverage there would be of it. It's just as devastating in this case.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.